Right, let's move on to our debate now. This week, we're going for the top 3 most overrated players in the Premier League right now. We're not talking history here, we're talking current players. I don't know how you guys want to do this. Do we just say our 3 and then...
I like the format of going, who have you got in third, who have you got second, who have you got first? Do
I haven't really got
I don't really have an order. I think we just
say... figure it out.
I think, should we just say 3?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say my 3, and I'm going to leave my really controversial one last. So first of all, I'm going to say David De Gea. I think he's one of the most overrated players in the country. I think he's been overrated for a while now. He is living off 2017 like there is nothing. And then second, I'm going to say Christian Romero. How this man has plaudits, I have no idea. The man got, like people say, well, he's won the World Cup. I'm like, yeah. Most people would if they had Lionel Messi in their team. You know, like the 2014 side that reached the final was awful, was pretty much god awful. You know, that's the way it is. And then third, okay, I'm really worried.
Just say it.
Reece James. I think Reece James is massively overrated for the way he's been this season. I think defensively he's been poor this season. People are getting in behind him very easy, and I think he's showing he's not the player we thought he was.
People do sing his praises a lot, but I have also heard you sing his praises as well.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's the point. I'm looking at it and going, actually, I haven't sung his praises since about like September,
It's a good point.
That's my point.
That's
why he's overrated. Because I haven't realised how bad he is.
No, fair enough.
He's not awful, but like he's not as good as we think.
Who are your 3?
A couple of Chelsea players.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Does Edouard Mendy still play for Chelsea?
Yeah.
Right. Edouard Mendy. I just think, and I'm looking back, I know it's current, but I think with current players you've also got to look at how they've been perceived whilst they've been in the Premier League. Mendy, when he won that Champions League, I just think he was bang average. He was just all right, and Chelsea did well, they got a bit lucky, and yeah, I just don't, and it's shown that he's been overrated when he just fell off. Second, Ben Chilwell, I just don't think, signed for a lot of money from Leicester.
I think that's a bad one.
Fair enough. Third, Eric Dyer. Not third place, but my third one is Eric Dyer. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't think Eric Dyer's rated.
No, he is. No, he is.
But yeah,
too much. Even a little bit, way too much.
I'll be honest, I've watched a lot of coverage of Tottenham fans talking about the game yesterday, and a lot of them said, let's get rid of Eric Dyer. So I don't understand how he's rated.
Then why is he still in the team? And why does he get picked for England?
Because they're managed poorly.
Get him out.
So Southgate and Stellini rate him.
Exactly.
Right.
And he's overrated.
I'll go for my 3. In third, I've got a player that Isaac actually really liked, and I've gone for James Ward-Prowse.
I can
free
see
kick
it.
merchant.
You picked him for our England squad for Euros, didn't you, back in the day?
Way back when. He's overrated. He's overrated. He's a free kick merchant. He scores a few free kicks a season, and people love it. You know, overrated. In second, I've gone for Ederson. I think Ederson is just he can pass the ball.
Oh, behave.
He can pass the ball, but he's not that. He's not
shot stopping.
To hold him as one of the top goalkeepers in the league, I think is ridiculous. And finally, I've gone for Kai Havertz. I think Kai Havertz is not that great either.
I don't think he's rated. That's the issue.
Rated.
I don't think he's rated.
For Eric Dyer.
Yeah, but I think he's rated too much.
I don't think neither of them are really rated.
So that's my 3. Let's have a discussion.
I think there's 2 outrageous selections from both of you. Right, first of all, David De Gea.
If you think David De Gea is good, you don't. Honestly, you have no ball knowledge.
I do think over the span of his Premier League career, which is what we're looking at. Yeah, we're not just looking at how he performed last week. It's overrated in general. It's not how they performed last week, Isaac. All right?
No, it's how this season, he is currently, the way people talk about him, they do not talk about him. His opinion is, the opinion around David De Gea is absolutely carried by a 3-year stint. And people talk about him like he's still 2015 to 2018.
I mean, I think it went on a little bit longer than that.
Other than at the start of his first season, David De Gea has been world class.
How many player of the seasons has he won as well at Man United?
Huh?
How many player of the seasons has he won? Yeah,
so many.
Like, come on, the man has literally
right now
carried Manchester United.
There is a point where an athlete is going to break at some point. You can't. There's a lot of pressure on that man. I think he's had a phenomenal career, and at one point he was the best goalkeeper in the world, hands down.
I think right now he's costing Man United more points than he's gaining them.
Yeah, but then is that also put down to the fact that you know, like the team hasn't been playing well for the last couple of years, or as well as the standards as they should be.
Would you think it's the team's fault that he took a bad touch and gave it to Nedry?
Ramsdale's made mistakes as well recently.
No, but my point is, it's not the only one. It's something which we're seeing more and more of. I think the amount of times I see him kick the ball out of play, he's unable to pass.
I think with David De Gea, I love David De Gea. I think your opinion on David De Gea is just because he can't pass the ball and it doesn't, he doesn't complete 100% of his passes.
No, it's not 100%. A goalkeeper shouldn't be expected to complete 100. It's the fact that the game has surpassed him and United carry on with him as if it's okay. And I think you putting Ederson is as fair as putting David De Gea in, because they are literally the opposite goalkeeper.
Yeah, that's your.
They are reverse goalkeepers. One literally could play in midfield, but his shot stopping is near enough questionable. The other one saves with his feet a lot. You know, he's all quick cat-like reflexes. His near post is open. You know, as you know, my front door in the morning when I'm leaving, and he can't pass. You know, to anyone near enough.
No, I think Ederson is just such an easy shout in this debate. I think it's what people have been saying for years, and they've just ignored.
Let me just tell you,
everyone's overrated.
Watch the semi-final against Tottenham and think to yourself, should either of Sons be saved by a competent top-level goalkeeper? And the answer is no.
This is my opinion. People hold Ederson as up there as one of the top goalkeepers in the league.
He is.
A lot of people argue he is the best goalkeeper in the league.
No, who says that?
A lot of people argue that him and Alisson have always been in this battle. Who's the best in the league?
To me,
since they were fighting for the title, that makes sense.
Alisson is astronomically clear.
Alisson is easily the best keeper in the league.
Ramsdale,
easily.
When Ramsdale went on that, was it the Fellas podcast? He was like saying, you know, he looks up to his goalkeepers who he really rates. He said Ederson and Alisson. All right, fair enough, Alisson, but he says Ederson, right? So he's got backing from another goalkeeper. Also, we're just ignoring the fact that Pep Guardiola, right? Yeah, probably, you know, been the best manager in the world for the last 10, 15 years, okay, right? This man has chosen a goalkeeper to be his man in goal for him, to represent his club whilst he's been challenging for titles, whilst he's been challenging for Champions Leagues. If he was overrated, if he was rubbish, do you think he'd get anyone?
Here's the thing.
The same thing about David De Gea, because the managers that come in and go, you know what, I'm going to stick with David De Gea. You know, it's
here's the thing. With Man City, they are a team which know they will not face many shots because they have the majority of the ball. So when it comes to goalkeeping, they can afford to have someone where having the ball at feet and being successful with the ball at feet, they know that he will create more chances for them as a goalkeeper, and that's what they focus on. So as a goalkeeper for their system, he works. But as a goalkeeper from the neutral view, he's not what we need. Right,
let's start the season, Man City. Right, who's going to be our goalkeeper? Well, hang on a minute, mate. Don't worry about that. We're too good. All right, so we don't actually need a good goalkeeper. We can face as many shots. They can. You know,
that's not my point. They don't face shots.
It is literally your point. No one's going to shoot us. Why do we need someone good in goal? Just slap Ederson in for the next year again. Yeah,
it's not that.
That's literally what you've just said.
It's not. Not just anyone.
You have just said that. But
I'm crediting him. He is the best keeper in the league with the ball at his feet, and I will credit him with that. He can.
The best keeper in the league with the ball with his feet is the most overrated, one of the most overrated Premier League players.
Yes, because we completely ignore the fact that his positioning at times for shots is not quality, and the fact that he doesn't save shots well enough.
I'll tell you exactly what Ederson reminds me of. He reminds me of an outfield player that the goalkeeper's just been sent off, so they got to throw someone in net.
I think that's rude.
You might as well have just said that with what you just said with all your fancy words, right? It doesn't make it any better.
Fancy words? Just because you can't understand them.
Ederson is incredibly overrated. Incredibly overrated.
I think there's more overrated goalkeepers in the league.
Well, you think Aaron Dye is overrated? He's not rated.
We've had a go at one of yours. You've had a go at one of mine. Ben Chilwell.
Ben Chilwell, I think, when everyone's fit for England, is England's best left back.
100. Yeah, definitely up there. Him and Luke Shaw are.
Luke Shaw is a good player. Ben Chilwell is a good player. These are good players. You know, Ben Chilwell, if he was fit, would have. I don't know if I think he does start for England. You love Luke Shaw, but like Ben Shaw is a quality player. Yes, he costs 50 mil. 50 mil is a drop in the water nowadays.
And, to be honest, you could say that about anyone.
If you want to talk money, we could talk for ages right now.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Ben Chilwell was a bad pick for me. I actually think, fair enough. He's a decent player. Shouldn't pick.
That was quick.
Reece James.
Look, I'll be honest.
Is horrendous.
I'm lacking.
That's the worst pick.
I don't think it is, because I think genuinely what is an overrated player? An overrated player is someone who we are holding up to a standard, but while we've not been looking, they've actually maybe dropped a bit, and we are still holding them to that original standard, which is David De Gea, which is Reece James. Reece James, we'll talk about him like he's still what he was performing like when they won the Champions League, like he was last season. Last season he was unstoppable. This season, since he's come back from injury, he's not been helping that Chelsea side at all. You know, he's not impacting them. He was one of their key creators, even one of their key goal scorers last season. And this season, it's not the same. It's not the same at all.
It's not the same, but it's not the same for any player at Chelsea. And Reece James is still holding up a level at Chelsea where he is still one of the best players at Chelsea.
It's not hard.
Exactly.
Their top assist has 2 assists.
For years now, we have been saying that Reece James has this ability where Trent can go forward but can't go back. Wan-Bissaka can go back but can't go forward. Reece James is that. Reece James,
and that's what I'm arguing. I'm arguing he's not been good going back. They've had one of the leakiest defences in the league.
I think for this,
and they can't score goals. So he's struggling on both fronts.
Your thoughts on this is that you're thinking for Reece James, he's not been good this season, but no one at Chelsea's been good. We're not going to go for 3 Chelsea players here. Surely.
No, but my point, but because he has been held up to a standard.
You can say the same. You can say the same thing for Ben Chilwell. In all fairness,
I think Chilwell
both have been held up to a standard.
I think Ben Chilwell.
Both have been held up to the standard that they've not matched this season.
Yeah, no.
I think Reece James is possibly the worst pick out of any of the picks we've had.
Well, look, I was struggling here, and I didn't. I
was also struggling. I think
Eric Dyer and Kai Havertz are a bit.
Let me explain Eric Dyer. No, I think Kai Havertz.
No, because when was Kai Havertz rated?
Okay. Which one do you want me to pick out first? Eric
Dyer. Go Dyer. Let's get Dyer.
Eric Dyer. Okay, right. I think maybe a lot of people call him rubbish. I think certainly us 3 have always called Eric Dyer rubbish. Yeah. Okay, right. We've always got annoyed when he's got in the England squads and things like that. But that is my thought process behind this. He is still picked for the England team. He's still consistently picked for Tottenham. I'm saying he's rated because he's consistently picked for his side. Right? Okay.
Okay.
Now maybe that unpicks my argument for David De Gea. Anyway, so but I'm saying they obviously rate this guy. I just don't see it. I despise it when he's in the England squad. I just think overrated.
To me, the whole point of overrated is the way fans talk about them, and the way the media perceive them. No. That's the idea of overrated.
Yeah,
if everyone says, "Do you think Maguire's overrated?" No, I think because everyone says he's bad.
No,
and he's having to answer press conference questions like, "Do you think you're a bad defender?" Then he's not overrated. He's rated, all right. We all know how bad he is, and same with Dyer. We all talk about him in the same way. Tottenham fans don't rate him. Who does then? No, everyone talks about them like that.
I think they did at one point. Also, another name I'd like to
in the golden ages, and when when they thought they'd win stuff. Life was great in 2017, wasn't it? I don't think he's a good defender, and I think with Kai Havertz. Maybe.
No, Kai Havertz was rated at one point. A very good player in the Bundesliga. All right,
very good in the Bundesliga. And when he came into Chelsea, he was
at Chelsea.
Chelsea uphold him.
Won the Champions League
in particular.
Won Champions League.
I still think,
scored the winning goal of a Champions
League.
Unlike
Eric, one of your arguments with Eric Dyer was that the fans don't even rate him. Chelsea fans really rate Kai Havertz.
Not right now.
Yeah, but Chelsea are crap.
I think they say that they do say that Kai Havertz is their best centre forward option.
Yeah,
and he's not even a centre forward.
He is definitely well rated by people to the point where you can definitely consider him to be an overrated player.
I think Kai Havertz is a classic example of people not knowing too much about this player from another league, him coming to England and not being absolutely out of this world, outstanding. But he's still been all right.
Bundesliga tax, but
So you're saying he's overrated, but then you're defending him and saying he was good, so he's not overrated then?
When did I say he was overrated?
You just said, people think he's not that good from. You just said he's been quite good there.
Yeah, but the English fans that don't watch the Bundesliga don't have really any idea what he did at Bayer Leverkusen, and they just see this player come in and he's not blowing people away like Ronaldo did, or
the thing is,
every player they call him overrated.
I disagree with you. I don't think he's not. He's not blowing people away. I think he's been shocking. Not once have I thought he is a great player. I think Chelsea as a side have gone backwards since he stepped into their front line. I don't. If I see him starting up front against my side, I'm not threatened by them. I'd argue. I know this sounds extremely controversial, but I am more scared of Timo Werner than Kai Havertz.
I often think that going backwards is winning a Champions League. So I completely agree with you, Isaac.
No, because he's not responsible for that.
He scored the goal to win the Champions League.
Timo Werner's run made that goal.
He still scored the goal.
Timo Werner's movement made that goal.
He still scored the goal. He put the ball into the net.
Do you know who conceded it? Ederson, and he parried it back to him.
Right, I think this is going to be very tricky. No.
That's exactly right.
There's not even...
And that just...
just laps back around. It's a cycle.
That is brilliant.
There's not even... That
God.
is brilliant. I think
and do you know whose side it came from? Do you know what side of the pitch it came from? The left-hand side, which had Ben Chilwell involved.
All right, fine, you two can agree.
Oh.
I don't think we've all agreed.
No, but we also need to talk about some other players. I like Christian Romero as a shout.
Yeah, I think like Christian Romero is the only one which I've got, which is nailed on. We haven't discussed it because we all know. Thing is, Tottenham are bad, but they still rate him. Yeah. And I don't think, if you can't play in a back four, I don't rate you as a defender.
He has the World Cup thing this season as well.
Yeah,
he's won the World Cup.
I'm like, here. You know, do many people rate Mertesacker?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I rate him, but like people outside of Arsenal fans think because he's slow on FIFA, he's bad. You know he won the World Cup. But do you know who also won the World Cup? Shkodran Mustafi won the World Cup. Is he a good defender?
Well,
Christ, no. Is he better than Van Dijk because he's won the World Cup? No, it means nothing.
I do think Romero is in there. Your other pick was Mendy.
Yeah, I think
Mendy, he's won the UEFA Goalkeeper of the Year.
I think it's
overrated. Such an overrated.
I think it's very similar to Ederson in the fact that people considered him at one point to be, in fact, a bit like De Gea as well.
I think Ederson's done
considered him to be the best in the league.
Ederson's done it consistently since like 2018. Mendy came in for one season, everyone was like, "Oh my god, this guy's so good," and then he just was out of the team and kept us back in. I think
that is a point that needs to be mentioned.
Exactly.
The fact that Kepa came back in.
Exactly, Kepa came back in.
Him.
Sorry, this guy is the best goalkeeper in the world according to UEFA, but Kepa, who was supposedly finished as a goalkeeper, came back in and replaced him and is now doing better than him.
Yeah, I don't mind Mendy as a shout, to be fair. Yeah. I do think he is overrated.
I genuinely think he is.
So we're going Romero and Mendy.
In the top three, I don't know if we've decided who's...
I know.
Right, okay.
So my last player was James Ward-Prowse.
I think, okay, I'm going to say this. Dyer's not in. I'm going to say Havertz isn't in.
I don't think James Ward-Prowse is in. I don't want to see him in there.
No, I don't think people...
Exactly.
There's no one... Look, I like James Ward-Prowse because it's like a wild card, but no one speaks about him like he's amazing. He's not rumoured to sign for any big club, but we do speak about him as he's probably the best free kick taker in the league. Yeah. And I think that's true.
This is how I had this thought process with James Ward-Prowse. James Ward-Prowse, best player at Southampton?
Probably, yeah.
Definitely up there.
Yes.
Doing awful this season, for one. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of your argument is.
He still scored a few free kicks.
And this is the thing. I think he's great at free kicks. Fantastic. But that's the only thing that shouts at me as him being a decent player.
I don't know.
And I think the only reason that we were sort of stuck on this, he should, and I will happily admit that I said that he should get in the England squad for the Euros. Yes, I did. But I think a large part of that is the fact that he can score free kicks and nothing else.
Yeah, if he didn't have
the idea was, we were all sitting here going, oh, well, Jack Grealish will run up towards the box, get fouled, and we just sub James Ward-Prowse on straight away so he can take the free kick. It doesn't matter. Like, he doesn't scream, he doesn't really create that a whole lot. I think literally... He steps up for a free kick and puts it in the back of the net. He's great at free kicks, but that is it. That is it for James Ward-Prowse.
I still think, I don't think that the whole idea of being overrated, you have to be rated to a certain degree, and I don't think he's rated beyond being a great free kick taker. And I think he is a great free kick taker.
I disagree.
No one, he's not, when people talk about the best playmakers in the league, we don't talk about him like he's beyond Maddison or anything.
We literally sat here and I just asked you, he's the best player at Southampton.
He is. No one has his ability at Southampton.
If he goes into like an Everton, would he be the best player?
No.
No.
If James Ward-Prowse never scored a free kick in his career, he'd be playing for like Bolton right
now. But here's the thing.
Exactly.
However,
I can't believe you can't look over the fact that he's he's 2 free kicks away from holding the record of most free kicks scored in the Premier League, which is held by
David Beckham. I'm not saying he's better than David Beckham, but I'm saying scoring free kicks is hard.
Can I come back to my point of scoring a free kick isn't that impressive?
Of course you think that.
You know, I mean, you put the ball on the ground, you put it still, everyone stands still.
How come Ronaldo, one of the best players in the world, has an awful record of consistent free kicks? If it's so easy...
I don't say it's easy, I just think it's not like
if it's not easy, then surely you give him his credit for scoring so many.
Like, you have to literally hold the ball. Like everyone is still, nothing's moving. I'm sorry. Right, what's harder, crossing the road at a set of traffic lights, or crossing the road, or crossing a bypass? It's a bit harder to cross the bypass because things are moving, things are in motion. Yeah. At a traffic light, everything's still. You just have to walk.
Now,
that's my point.
Here's the thing: when you're playing in normal play, players aren't just focused on the one who's on the ball. They're focused on looking at their man. They're focused on man marking and everything. With a free kick, everyone is looking at you. You are the only one with the ball. Time is frozen. Everyone knows you're shooting it. The goalkeeper has time to prepare the wall. He has time to position himself right for the shot. He has time to position his wall to block the shot. Everything is made to stop you, just you, from scoring. In time, there's so many distractions, so many moving objects. You can, it's easier.
Look, I think we need to round it up, and I think rather than coming to a conclusion now, we should say that the people watching the videos, watching the podcast, listening to the podcast should decide on their top three and pick the top three. So let us know in the comment section down below. We'll put a poll or something on the Spotify as well.
Out of the three players.
Just let us know who's in your top three.